History is filled with leaders who shaped their nations, inspired millions, and left behind legacies that continue to influence the world. But for some, their journeys came to a sudden and tragic end in the skies. In this video, we're uncovering the stories of 26 influential presidents, prime ministers, and military leaders who tragically lost their lives in plane and helicopter crashes. From Sweden to Mozambique, and from the Philippines to Chile, we'll explore their incredible contributions and the heartbreaking moments that changed history forever. Let's dive in, only in Supreme News. Number 1. Salomon Lindman, Prime Minister of Sweden. Born September 19, 1862 and died December 9, 1936, was a Swedish rear admiral, industrialist and conservative politician who served as Prime Minister of Sweden from 1906 to 1911 and again from 1928 to 1930. He has been described as one of the fathers of modern Sweden. On December 9, 1936, he died in plane crash in Croydon, United Kingdom. Number 2. José Félix Estigarribia and Sorilde, President of Paraguay. Born February 21, 1888, and died on September 7, 1940. He was a Paraguayan military officer and politician who served as the 34th President of Paraguay from 1939 until his death in a plane crash on September 7, 1940. He is most remembered for his previous role as Commander-in-Chief of the Paraguayan Army during the Chaco War, which resulted in an upset victory for Paraguay. Number 3. Władysław Eugeniusz Sikorski, Prime Minister of Poland, in exile. Born May 20, 1881, and died July 4, 1943, was a Polish military and political leader. On July 4, 1943, he died in plane crash in Gibraltar, United Kingdom. Number 4. Ramón Magsaysay, President of the Philippines, born August 31, 1907 and died March 17, 1957, was a Filipino statesman who served as the 7th President of the Philippines from December 30, 1953, until his death in an aircraft disaster on March 17, 1957. An automobile mechanic by profession, Magsaysay was appointed military governor of Zambales after his outstanding service as a guerrilla leader during the Pacific War. He then served 2 terms as Liberal Party congressman for Zambales' at-large district before being appointed Secretary of National Defense by President Elpidio Quirino. He was elected president under the banner of the Nacionalista Party. He was the youngest to be elected as president and second youngest to be president after Emilio Aguinaldo. He was the first Philippine president born in the 20th century and the first to be born after the Spanish colonial era. He died in plane crash on March 17, 1957 in Balamban, Cebu, Philippines. Number 5. Nero de Oliveira Ramos, former president of Brazil. Born September 3, 1888, and died June 16, 1958, was a Brazilian political figure. He briefly served as interim president of Brazil in the aftermath of the political crisis which culminated in the suicide of President Getulio Vargas and the impeachment of Deputy Carlos Luz and President Café Filho. Nero Ramos died in a Cruzeiro airline crash on June 16, 1958, near Curitiba Afonso Pena International Airport. Number 6. Barthelemy Baganda, Prime Minister of the Central African Republic. Born 1910 and died March 29, 1959, was a Central African politician and independence activist. Baganda was active prior to his country's independence, during the period when the area, part of French Equatorial Africa, was administered by France under the name of Ubangui-Chari. He served as the first premier of the Central African Republic as an autonomous territory. He died in plane crash on the 29th of March, 1959 in Bukpayanga, Central African Republic. Number 7. Abdul Salam Muhammad Arif al-Jamali, President of Iraq. Born March 21, 1921, and died April 13, 1966, was the second president of Iraq from 1963 until his death in a plane crash in 1966. He played a leading role in the July 14th revolution, in which the Hashemite monarchy was overthrown on July 14, 1958. On April 13, 1966, Arif was killed in the crash of Iraqi Air Force de Havilland, in southern Iraq about 10 kilometers from Basra Airport. Number 8. Humberto de Alencar Castelo Branco. Born September 20, 1897, and died July 18, 1967, was a Brazilian military officer and politician who served as the 26th president of Brazil, the first of the Brazilian military dictatorship following the 1964 coup d'état. He was a member of a more liberal, legalist faction within the regime, as opposed to his more authoritarian successors. For months after leaving the presidency, Castelo Branco died in a mid-air collision of Piper PA-23 aircraft near Fortaleza on July 18, 1967. Number 9. René Emilio Barrientos Ortuño. President of Bolivia, born May 30, 1919, and died April 27, 1969, was a Bolivian military officer and politician who served as the 47th president of Bolivia twice non-consecutively from 1964 to 1966, and from 1966 to 1969. During much of his first term, he shared power as co-president with Alfredo Ovando from 1965 to 1966, and prior to that served as the 30th vice president of Bolivia in 1964. He died in helicopter crash on the April 27, 1969 in Arque, Bolivia. Number 10. Joel Rakatomalala, Prime Minister of Madagascar. Born March 29, 1929, and died July 30, 1976, was a Malagasy military officer and politician. He died in helicopter crash on the July 30, 1976 in Antsirabe, Madagascar. Number 11. Zemel Bijedic, Prime Minister of Yugoslavia. Born April 12, 1917, and died January 18, 1977, was a Bosnian and Yugoslav politician who served as Prime Minister of Yugoslavia from July 1971 until his death in a plane crash in January 1977. He additionally served as Secretary of the Interior from July to December 1971. Bijedic was also President of the People's Assembly of SR Bosnia and Herzegovina from 1967 to 1971. He died in plane crashed January 18, 1977, in Krševo, Yugoslavia. Number 12. Ahmed Ould Bousseif. Born 1943 and died 27 May 1979, was a Mauritanian military officer and political leader. On April 6, 1979, he seized power in a coup d'état together with Colonel Mohammed Kuna Ould Haidala and other officers, ousting Colonel Mustafa Ould Salek from real power, however kept in his symbolic position with no real power until June 3, 1979. He became the second Prime Minister of Mauritania in the new government. He died the following month when a de Havilland Canada DHC-5D Buffalo airplane of the Mauritania Islamic Air Force crashed off the coast of Dakar, Senegal. Number 13. Francisco Manuel Lumbreras de Sá Carneiro, Prime Minister of Portugal. Born July 19, 1934, and died December 4, 1980, was a Portuguese politician who was one of the founders and the first leader of the Social Democratic Party, then known as the Popular Democratic Party. He served as Prime Minister of Portugal for 11 months during 1980, until his death in a plane crash in Camarate on the December 4, 1980. Number 14. Jaime Roldos Aguilera, President of Ecuador. Born November 5, 1940, and died May 24, 1981, was an Ecuadorian politician who was the 33rd President of Ecuador from August 10, 1979, until his death on May 24, 1981. In his short tenure, he became known for his firm stance on human rights, which led to clashes with other Latin American governments and poor relations with Ronald Reagan's United States administration. On Sunday, May 24, 1981. A plane in which he was traveling crashed, killing all passengers including Roldos and his wife. The plane crashed in Huirapungo, Ecuador. Number 15. Omar Efren Torrijos Herrera, military leader of Panama. Born February 13, 1929 and died July 31, 1981, was a Panamanian military leader of Panama, as well as the commander of the Panamanian National Guard from 1968 to his death in 1981. Torrijos was never officially the president of Panama, but instead held self-imposed and all-encompassing titles including Maximum Leader of the Panamanian Revolution. Torrijos took power in a coup d'état and instituted a number of social reforms. Torrijos passed away at the age of 52 on July 31, 1981, when his aircraft, a de Havilland Canada DHC-6 Twin Otter operated by the Panamanian Air Force, crashed at Cerro Marta in Coclacito, near Peñonome, Panama. Number 16. Samora Machel, President of Mozambique. Born September 29, 1933, and died October 19, 1986, was a Mozambican politician and revolutionary. A socialist in the tradition of Marxism and Leninism, he served as the first president of Mozambique from the country's independence in 1975 until his death in a plane crash in 1986. He died in plane crash October 19, 1986, in Busini, South Africa. Number 17. Rashid Karami, Prime Minister of Lebanon. Born December 30, 1921, and died June 1, 1987, was a Lebanese statesman. He is considered one of the most important political figures in Lebanon for more than 30 years, including during much of the Lebanese Civil War, 1975 to 1990, and served as Prime Minister 8 times. According to the Guinness Book of World Records, this would make him the most elected Democratic Prime Minister in history. He was assassinated in 1987. He died in helicopter bombing, June 1, 1987 in Beirut, Lebanon. Number 18. Mohammad Zia-ul-Haq, President of Pakistan. Born August 12, 1924, and died August 17, 1988. Was a Pakistani military officer who served as the 6th President of Pakistan from 1978 until his death in 1988. He rose to prominence after leading a coup on July 5, 1977, which overthrew the democratically elected government of Prime Minister Zulfikar Ali Bhutto. Zia subsequently imposed martial law, suspended the constitution, and served as chief martial law administrator before assuming the presidency. Zia served as the second chief of the army staff from 1976 to 1988, a position he later leveraged to execute a coup in 1977, which was the second coup in Pakistan's history of coups. The first occurred in 1958 under Ayub Khan. He died in plane crash August 17, 1988, in Bahawalpur, Pakistan. Number 19. Juvenal Habyarimana, President of Rwanda. Born March 8, 1937, and died April 6, 1994, was a Rwandan politician and military officer who was the second president of Rwanda from 1973 until his assassination in 1994. He was nicknamed Kinani, a Kinyarwanda word meaning invincible. He died in airplane shoot-down April 6, 1994, in Kigali, Rwanda. Number 20. Cyprien Ntaryamira, President of Burundi. Born March 6, 1955, and died April 6, 1994, was a Burundian politician who served as President of Burundi from February 5, 1994, until his death 2 months later. Born a Hutu in Burundi, Ntaryamira pursued his studies in the country before fleeing to Rwanda to escape ethnic violence and complete his education. While active in a Burundian student movement, he co-founded the Socialist Burundi Workers' Party and earned a degree in agriculture. Returning to Burundi in 1983, he took on agricultural roles but was briefly imprisoned as a political detainee. In 1986, he co-founded the Front for Democracy in Burundi, FRDEBU, which went on to win the country's general elections in 1993. Following this victory, Samora was appointed Minister of Agriculture and Animal Husbandry on July 10th. However, in October, an attempted coup by Tutsi soldiers resulted in the assassination of the president and other high-ranking officials. Samora survived the coup, and in January 1994, the National Assembly elected him as President of Burundi. After resolving a constitutional standoff, he was inaugurated on February 5th, prioritizing peace restoration, human rights, and refugee resettlement. Despite his efforts, he struggled to reduce ethnic tensions during his presidency. On April 6, 1994, he was killed when the plane carrying him and Rwandan President Juvenal Habyarimana was shot down over Kigali. Number 21. Abdul Rahim Ghaforzai, Prime Minister of Afghanistan. Born 1947 and died August 21, 1997, was a politician and diplomat of Afghanistan. He was an ethnic Pashtun, a member of the Baratsai Mohammedzai tribe. In the 1970s, he joined the Afghan Foreign Service and was assigned to the United States to represent the Soviet-backed political administration. As Afghanistan's ambassador to the United Nations, Ghaforzai felt a strong responsibility to urge global partners to condemn the Soviet invasion of 1979. From that point until 1992, he dedicated himself to rallying international opposition against the Soviet-installed regime in Afghanistan. He died in plane crash August 21, 1997, in Bamyan, Afghanistan. Number 22. Boris Tragically, President of Macedonia. Born June 25, 1956, and died February 26, 2004, was a Macedonian politician who served as the second president of Macedonia from 1999 until his death in 2004 in a plane crash. Tragically passed away on February 26, 2004, in a plane crash while traveling to an economic conference in Mostar, Bosnia and Herzegovina. The aircraft went down amid thick fog and heavy rain, crashing on a mountainside in southeastern Herzegovina near the villages of Poplat and Versnik, approximately 8 miles, 15 kilometers, south-southeast of Mostar. He remains the only president of North Macedonia to have died while in office. Number 23. Lech Alexander Kaczyński, President of Poland. Born June 18, 1949, and died April 10, 2010, was a Polish politician who served as the city mayor of Warsaw from 2002 until 2005, and as President of Poland from 2005 until his death in 2010. Before his tenure as president, he previously served as president of the Supreme Audit Office from 1992 to 1995, and later Minister of Justice and Public Prosecutor General in Jerzy Buzek's cabinet from 2000 until his dismissal in July 2001. He died in plane crash April 10, 2010, in Smolensk, Russia. Number 24. Ryszard Kaczorowski, President of Poland in exile. Born November 26, 1919, and died April 10, 2010, was a Polish statesman. From 1989 to 1990, he served as the last president of Poland in exile. He succeeded Kazimierz Sabot and stepped down from his position after Poland regained independence from Soviet influence, and Lech Walesa was elected as the country's first democratically chosen president since before World War II. Kaczorowski tragically lost his life on April 10, 2010, in a plane crash near Smolensk, Russia, alongside Poland's sitting president, Lech Kaczyński, and 94 others. At the time, he was the oldest victim of the crash. On April 19, 2010, his coffin was brought to St. John's Cathedral for a funeral mass, after which he was laid to rest in a crypt at the National Temple of Divine Providence in Warsaw. Number 25. Miguel Juan Sebastián Pinera Echenique, President of Chile. Born December 1, 1949, and died February 6, 2024, was a Chilean businessman and politician who served as president of Chile from 2010 to 2014 and again from 2018 to 2022. The son of a Christian Democratic politician and diplomat, He studied business administration at the Pontifical Catholic University of Chile and economics at Harvard University. At the time of his death, he had an estimated net worth of $2.7 billion, according to Forbes, making him the third richest person in Chile and the 1,177th richest person in the world. He died in helicopter crash, February 6, 2024, in Lake Ranco, Chile. Number 26. Syed Ebrahim Raisi, President of Iran. Born December 14, 1960, and died May 20, 2024, better known as Ebrahim Raisi, was an Iranian politician who served as the 8th president of Iran from 2021 until his death in 2024. He was a Muslim jurist and part of the Principalist group. On May 20, 2024, President Raisi, along with Foreign Minister Hossein Amir Abdullahian and several other officials, lost their lives in a helicopter crash near the village of Uzi in East Azerbaijan province. Iran's semi-official Mehr news agency referred to them as martyred in the crash. Raisi became the second Iranian president to die in office, following Mohammad Ali Rajai, who was killed in a bombing in 1981. From their achievements to their untimely ends, these 26 leaders remind us of the fragility of life and the profound impact of leadership. Their legacies live on, shaping the histories of their nations and inspiring generations to come. Thank you for joining us on this journey through history. If you found this video insightful, please give it a thumbs up, share it with others, and hit that subscribe button for more stories of remarkable individuals and pivotal moments in history. Until next time, remember, history isn't just about the past. It's the lens through which we understand the present and shape the future. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.